This is a fruit so stinky, it has actually been banned throughout multiple countries of being eaten in airports, trains, and even the hotel I'm staying at made me sign a special waiver saying I would not be eating any of this fruit while in the room. That's why I'm outside here in a park in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. The smell has been described as a mixture of rotting onions and gym socks. Anthony Bourdain famously described the taste of the fruit as it makes your breath smell as if you've been French kissing your dead grandmother. Lovely. I actually don't think it smells half bad. Yet despite descriptions like that, the people here love it. In fact, it's often called the king of fruits. Who's the queen? Pineapple? It's pineapple, right? So how can something that supposedly smells that bad be so beloved here? Well, I heard it's sort of like fermented foods. Think about the first time you had a beer. I bet you probably didn't like it. I know I didn't. But then over time, the more I tried it, the more I began to appreciate the bits that I thought I didn't like. I could notice a bit more. By being more exposed to the smell and taste of this fruit, people here don't actually smell rotting onions or gym socks. They just smell a durian. So rather than being a standard tourist and trying a bite, recoiling and being like, that's gross, I actually want to explore the history of this fruit. I want to understand more about it, what makes it so popular, and along the way, yes, try it, and also try a durian flavored thing. They've got durian coffee here and durian ice creams. So maybe if I don't like this, I'll like it in other variants, and by the end of this video, maybe I'll actually have grown to like the smell and the taste. We'll see. My name is Evan Edinger, and I'm regretting being a super smeller. It's time to try the durian fruit. Okay. Interesting. Are you listening for ripeness?
Yes.
Ah, this is my first durian. I've never had one.
No problem. If you taste, not me.
Oh, of course. I'm sure I'll love it. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Some people think it is bad. It's not bad.
Do you smell it, Heather? No. 500. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on. So right off the bat, I honestly do not know what anyone's on about. It smells like a fruit. It smells sweet, like almost like an apple almost. I do not smell anything negative at all. I went to a place that is well known for selling high quality risao variants of the durian. Fun fact, there are multiple types of durian, and risao is the one that's popular here in Vietnam. I got him to package me up a good one. They kind of hammer on it, listen to the frequency to hear if it is ripe enough to consume. Found me a good one, and now, chopped me up. Oh my God. Okay. I stand corrected. The outer shell, the rind, this spiky boy, he smells quite nice. This, however, the innards, does not smell nice. Not to me, at least. Not yet. All right, they do give you these plastic gloves so you don't get the scent all over your hands, which now makes sense now that I can smell it. Jesus Christ, that's strong. I was feeling so confident that I was gonna really like this immediately because the smell of the outside is so good. I'm genuinely really excited to try this. I came to Vietnam specifically to experience flavors and foods that I've never had, and so far, I have absolutely enjoyed myself. I've had so many amazing foods so far, and it's only been day 2 now. This is not how hands are. I don't know if they've seen a hand before. Oh, I understand why people would be repulsed by that because it's so pungent. Oh, there's so much going on with the smell. This is what the inside looks like. It's a custardy. It's actually one of the fattiest fruits out there. Oh my God, I'm so excited. All right. Wow. That is so difficult to describe. There's a certain note in there that hits you with offense, as if I'm eating something putrid and I need to vomit immediately. But then it's mixed with such sweet notes. I can only describe this as the most complex fruit taste I've ever had. I cannot say it's bad. Fascinating. This is so fascinating. Oh my God. Wow. I'm not gonna reach for this fruit. If I found it in the UK, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I need to try myself a durian again. But I think the media's depiction of the durian fruit is a bit overblown. It's towing the line of borderline disgust. I think that's it. I understand it. It's because it's so close to being vile, and yet it's not. Heather has joined for now. Just smell it for me and tell me what your thoughts are. I don't want to skew.
I can smell it from here.
Oh, yeah, yeah?
It smells sweet.
Now smell that.
Oh, it's fine. I can smell the...
rancidness?
Yeah. It's not very strong. It's not as strong as I thought it would be.
If you smell my breath, have I been making out with your dead grandmother? I want you to try yourself a little bite.
But that initially is the reason why I agreed to try it, is that I was like, okay, if you eat it and it's truly awful,
Yeah.
and then I've got to kiss you, then... The first taste is definitely tense, and then the second taste is quite pleasant.
Yes.
It's like the primary flavour is kind of a bit, rancid.
But they're a nice
They
bit.
do say that they get better at not noticing that, and therefore just tasting the tastiness. The texture is actually...
It's so custardy.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. Not that bad. Wow. I'd say a good experience overall. Okay, before I give the durian another go, you might want to know more about it, especially if you're unfamiliar with the fruit. The durian actually comes from the rainforests of Borneo and Sumatra, and the fruit really thrives in the hot, wet climate of Southeast Asia, like where I am right now in Cambodia. I am dying, it's 35 degrees, why is it so hot? I might not like it, but the durian sure does. The first written records of the fruit date back to the 15th century, with Chinese traders describing the fruit as thorny fruit with a smell that lingers. Title my sex tape. The name durian etymologically comes from the Malay word duri, meaning thorn, because the rind of the fruit is quite a prickly boy. But it wasn't just traders. He's a trader. The trader was a trader. Oh my God, American accents. It wasn't just traders that were interested in this fruit, but also some European explorers in the 19th century. One Alfred Russel Wallace, who co-founded the theory of evolution with Charles Darwin, said the durian is a rich custard highly flavored with almonds. And he cited another writer as saying, it seems at first to smell of rotten onions, but immediately after you have tasted it, you prefer it to all other foods. Not all other foods. I don't know if that guy had pizza before, but all right. Harvesting the durian is a bit of a process. You see, you have to let the durian ripen on the tree and let it drop naturally. You can't just pluck it early because then you'll affect its amazing and unique flavor. And so, the harvesting process involves going out into the field of durian trees and waiting for them to drop and then collecting them. And as some of these big spiky boys can grow to 3 kilograms in weight, well, that can obviously lead to some problems when you're waiting for one to drop and then bonk, you get a big spiky 3-kilogram bowling ball on your head. And that's why harvesting them requires wearing hard hats most of the time. Feels like a scenario out of a video game. You gotta watch out for the big spiky balls above you and run around and try and catch them in your basket and avoid them on your head. But hey, I guess the taste is worth it. It's unique. It's the king of fruits. There are many different varieties of durian depending on where you go. In Thailand, they're famous for the Montong cultivar, which is less pungent and a bit sweeter, whereas in Vietnam, they're very famous for the Risao cultivar, and this one is supposedly less bitter. Now, I have tried the Risao, and if that one is less bitter, I'm a bit concerned about all the other types of durian. I'm assuming this is something similar to people who like coffee, like myself, who have tried lots of different types, and you begin to develop the nuances. I have not developed the nuances for durian quite yet. I feel like I'd need to really go out here and try so many different types. The durian is simply a cultural icon over here. It's woven into many of the countries' national cuisines. Singapore even made one of their concert halls look like a durian. Look at it, come on. You can't tell me that's not a durian. In Malaysia, the juice of the durian leaf is said to reduce fevers, and many countries in the region have giant festivals where people gather just to celebrate the spiky fruit. It just sounds wholesome. For millions of people, the durian is part of family tradition, national pride, and yeah, a little bit of culinary controversy, though it's not controversial to them. But without further ado, I think it's time I take another round of durian. This time, not just a simple durian, let me try it in something I normally like. Coffee. Oh God. Durian coffee. Now, this isn't a super popular thing. I haven't seen it in lots of places around Ho Chi Minh, but definitely leaning more towards the tourists, which is interesting because I'd say durian is probably a thing that tourists are not as likely to be as familiar with or want. This is from a place in the Win Hui, the apartment complex that's turned into a place full of restaurants and cafes. I've made a video about that already, but the strong is very smelly. You can smell it. It's not nice. I liked the smell of the durian rind, but I did not. Okay. Wow. The smell is yet again repulsive. Yeah. Once you realize what the taste of durian is, I feel like you understand it a bit more. No? No? All right, that is a no from Heather. There's somewhat sweet syrup, but mixed in with that rotten onion smell. I get it. I just don't like it. I preferred the actual durian to the durian flavored coffee. It feels more gimmicky than anything. Like, I don't know how many Vietnamese people are going out of their way to try durian coffee. Correct me if I'm wrong, any of the Vietnamese in my comments. It's not bad. It's just not good at all.
There's a reason that they banned it publicly.
There's a reason they banned this in public, yeah. All right, that was an experience to say the least. But besides its unique aroma and flavor, what does the durian bring to the table nutritionally at least? Look at one of these. That's right, didn't think you'd see one of these again, huh? An American Nutrition Facts label, as we talked about way too extensively in my video on nutrition facts labels. This one particularly is for the durian fruit. Hey, if you're gonna eat a durian, it might as well be healthy, right? Well, I'll do you one better. Actually, the durian is one of the most nutrient-dense fruits on the planet. It's got more potassium per 100 grams than a banana and more fiber than an apple. A lot of people, myself included, will describe the texture of a durian to be custardy, which kind of makes sense considering, well, it's actually full of fat. Per 100 grams, a durian contains 5.3 grams of fat. Whereas fruits that I'm more familiar with, I'm talking apples, bananas, oranges, per 100 grams, those don't contain practically any fat, or rather it's more of a negligible amount. And that high fat content, that richness, that's not just a nutritional fact. It's part of the reason why it's such a sought after fruit here in Southeast Asia. The fact that it tastes so custardy and that it has high fat content lends into the reason why it is used in so many custards, so many desserts, and so many ice creams out here in Southeast Asia. All right, so the durian creme brulee. That's durian. That's durian. It's such a confusing flavor. For locals, that indulgent, buttery flavor of a durian is what sets it apart from other fruits. From the people that I've spoken to here, it's kind of like British people and Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. Or you're like me and you think there isn't actually two camps, that's just marketing. Vegemite though is pretty good. And it's not just locals who love the durian. One of the most interesting aspects of the story I found when researching was that China loves it. But China doesn't necessarily have the best climate for growing a durian, so they've got to import it. How much are they importing, you ask? Well, in 2017, they imported about $550 million equivalent of durian. 6 years later, in 2023, $6.7 billion. That's over 1,000% of an increase. Why? Well, it's viewed as a luxury item, depending on the variant. In fact, the Musang King, which is Malaysia's top version of the durian, is viewed as a luxury status symbol in China. So people are importing it, wanting to have it to show people, hey, I've got this icon of wealth, a tasty, stinky fruit that I love. Some of the premium varieties of durian, like the Musang King in Malaysia, sell for 21 pounds a kilogram in China. And because some of these variants get to be about 3 kilograms in size, we're talking paying 63 pounds for a fruit. That is a status symbol if I say so myself. Damn. Brits used to put pineapples in the middle of their table just to be another status symbol, to be like, hey, I think the king and queen like these pineapple things, so there we go. And they would just rot on the table for like months and months just to show you had a pineapple. People are weird. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. People are just weird. But all this tasty durian has made me so much more hungry to tell you about today's video sponsor. As you can see behind me, I'm currently in Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Absolutely stunning place. Thankfully, with all the content I've been shooting on my phone and looking up maps and finding different places to visit, it's been super easy thanks to today's video sponsor, Sally. Sally is an eSIM, so rather than having to go through the faff of having to like take a little pin out, pop out your SIM card, find one at the airport, hopefully they're not too bad of a rate. While we were in London the day before the trip, all I did was open the Sally app, purchase a 10 gigabyte plan for Vietnam and a 10 gigabyte plan for Cambodia, and then as soon as I landed, I had data immediately. It's been so incredibly seamless. And one of my favorite parts about using Sally over other eSIMs I've used in the past is that once I ran out of the data, it was about 80%, you get an alert from Sally saying, hey, you only got 20% of your data left. That's so useful. The amount of times I've run out of data while I'm looking at a map and I'm like, oh no, I'm stranded. And then you have to find Wi-Fi in order to connect. No. Also important to note, I convinced Heather to download Sally. That's right. I even influenced my girlfriend because she didn't do it when we were in London. As soon as we landed, I was like, oh, you haven't used Sally yet? She just downloaded the app and then boom, at the airport Wi-Fi, she was able to immediately activate her plan and she's been able to use her data abroad with me. Also, the prices are pretty darn great. I don't know if you know how expensive data is when you're on UK plans, but my provider was asking for 25 pounds for 1 gigabyte, whereas Sally gave me 10 gigabytes for basically like 12 pounds or something, depending on Vietnam or Cambodia. It's been amazing. If you'd like to sign up to Sally, go to sally.com/Evan and you can get this really nice offer. Anyway, thank you, Sally, for sponsoring. Let's get back to the video. All in all, I had a really fun time making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. The durian is a fruit I've always been very fascinated by ever since I heard about it because I just love smelling, I love tasting new flavors, and to hear about something that's supposedly so awful yet so delicious at the same time is such an intrinsic hook to me. And so I'm so thankful I got to come out here and try all these different fruits and flavors and things, even though I didn't like some of it, like the coffee. Well, it was a fun experience. So if you had a fun experience watching this, I hope you thumb it up, subscribe to me and whatnot, and hopefully I'll see you here on my YouTube channel next Sunday. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Goodbye. Oh, a bird shit on my foot? How did that happen?